Why do millions of people trust influencers more than celebrities, more than brands, sometimes even more than their own friends? It's because of something called a parasocial relationship. And it's the invisible engine behind influencer marketing. Hi, my name is Akanksha, and this is the Storyteller's Lens, where we explore the psychology of marketing, branding, and culture. So, the today's topic is fascinating, and honestly, it explains why influencer marketing is so powerful. We are talking about parasocial relationships, those one sided emotional bonds that make us feel like we know influencers, even though they don't know us personally. By the end of this video, you will understand why these relationships form, why they are stronger than traditional ads, the risks when they go wrong, and some real case studies from Emma Chamberlain to Ronaldo. And finally, where parasocial marketing is headed next. So, what do we actually mean by parasocial relationship? It's basically the illusion of intimacy, a one sided bond where the audience feels close to an influencer, a YouTuber, a TikToker, even though that person doesn't know them. Think about it. Influencers share routines, struggles, inside jokes. They talk directly to camera, and often a while, fans feel like they are watching a friend. That's the engine of influencer marketing. It's not just reach, it's not just eyeballs, it's about trust. And often, trust with influencers is a stronger than trust with celebrities. Why it works? Number one is illusion of intimacy. So when a YouTuber shares their skincare routine, it feels like advice from a friend, not a pitch. Number two is trust and relatability, which is greater than ads. Research shows influencer endorsements are rated more trustworthy than celebrity ads. Why? Because celebs feel distant and polished. Influencers feel real. Number three is consistency and reputation. Celebs show up once a year in an ad campaign. Influencers, they are in your feed freaking every day. Algorithms keep feeding the bond, and familiarity beats trust. Number four is micro expressions and body language. Now, this one is subtle but powerful. Seeing someone's face, tone, gestures, it builds subconscious trust. Example, an influencer smiling while unboxing feels authentic. A stiff scripted ad doesn't. Number five is identity and community. Fans don't just follow influencers, they project themselves onto them. They feel part of a tribe. Buying what the influencer recommends isn't just consumption, it's supporting the relationship. Of course, parasocial marketing or relationship isn't perfect. Why? Number one is over commercialization. Too many ads. Fans feel betrayed. The bond cracks. Number two is a scandals and backlash. Parasocial trust cuts both ways. If an influencer behaves badly, fans feel personally deceived. Think Logan Paul's Japan scandal. Overnight collapse. Number four is mental health risks. Sometimes fans blur the line between parasocial and real relationships, creating unhealthy expectations. Influencers, meanwhile, feel pressure to share constantly, leading to burnout. Number five is ROI measurement problems. Not every parasocial bond converts into sales. Some influencers are engagement rich but sales poor. That makes it tricky for brands. Now let's break down some examples. So Emma Chamberlain, she's like this YouTube fashion icon. Her casual vlogs built deep parasocial bonds. Fans saw her as a best friend. That trust carried over into luxury deals with Louis Vuitton and Cartier. What's the lesson? Relatability can make luxury feel credible. Number two is Mr. Beast, who is like a YouTube, like this brand empire. His bond is not intimacy, it's a mission. Fans feel like they are part of his philanthropy and stunts. When he launched Mr. Beast Burger and Feastables, people weren't just buying products, they were buying into his world. Lesson? Parasocial bonds can scale into entire new businesses. Number three is Kim Kardashian versus micro influencers. Kim's endorsements, seen as transactional, but micro influencers with 5 to 10K followers often drive higher conversions. Lesson? Depth of trust is higher than follower count. Number four is Sephora Squad. Sephora recruits diverse micro influencers annually. Fans trust them because they are people like me, people like you. Now, lesson scaling parasocial bonds beats celebrity ads in beauty and wellness. Number 5, it's sports figures as pro influencers. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo, 2020. He moved the Coke bottle, held up water, Coke's market cap tanked by billions. Not exactly parasocial in the influencer sense, but it shows how perceived authenticity moves markets. So, where is all this going? Number 1, AI influencers and simulation. Virtual creators like Lil Michaela. Early signs? Yes, people still form bonds if the content feels authentic. Number 2, community-led influencers. Patreon, Discord, live stream Q&As. Fans move from watching to participating. Number 3, parasocial commerce. TikTok Live, Taobao shopping. Parasocial bonds plus instant purchase. Huge in Asia, going globally. Number 5, regulation and transparency. Clear ad labels are now required. Ironically, this often increases trust, not decreases it. So here's the big takeaway. Parasocial relationships are the engine of influencer marketing. They turn attention into trust and trust into action. For brands, the trick isn't buying reach, it's borrowing intimacy, partnering with influencers who have genuine bonds, not just big numbers. Because in the end, people don't buy from a brand, they buy from someone they trust. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe to the Storyteller's Lens and tell me in the comments which influencer do you trust the most and why. Thanks for watching. I'm Akanksha and I'll see you in the next one.